Hey guys, hey gang, new patch notes. New patch notes, hooray, we got patch notes, and I'm gonna talk about the patch notes because I fucking can, alright? You're not gonna stop me. First off, short range shooters got like 3% shot velocity and slightly more range. Cool. I don't think these will make the weapons any like better per se, but they'll feel better to play, you know? Which, thank God for all you aerospray mains out there. Oh, you really want that weapon feeling better. Zap got a movement buff and a grounded RNG buff, which like, okay, I know we're trying to like, oh hey guys, this is a cooler option too, but Zap is already like pretty good, you know? Like we don't, like let's not go too far with Zap. I think we've already given it some pretty good buffs this game. Is this maybe too much? Maybe. We don't really need all of this. That's my hot take. We don't need all of this. And that's coming from the Zap player, okay. Nova reduced jump RNG by 33%, which that's a lot. But Nova's RNG was already shit, and it's still a 5-shot, so nobody's still gonna play this piece of shit. Like yeah, it's gonna feel better to play, but it's still terrible, so why would you know? Why would you touch it? Swig expanded vertical collision, which is good. Because Swig's vertical was already really good. And now they're just making the part of the roller that was good a little bit better. And I'm fine with that, because Swig is like still not in a great place. But if we buff its fighting capabilities, I'm all for that, you know? I'm good with that. Paintbrush, 2-frame swing buff, which I'm fine with that. Paintbrush isn't in the best spot right now. So I think 2 frames is pretty good for it. That'll definitely help its fighting a lot. Mini got 3 frames faster of a charge, which like sure, yeah, I don't hate this. And spoilers, so does Heavy down here. Heavy also gets 3 frames faster, which I think for Heavy it's a little less impactful, being that charge is just already longer. For Mini that might feel pretty good. Like for Mini mains, 3 frames that could feel like a lot. And of course Heavy also got 11% longer firing duration. I'm fine with this. Heavy's in an okay spot, so I don't hate it being a little bit better. Oh no, you know, not the end of the world. I think it's fine. Dapple's also got the short range shooter buff, which like sure. Again, not gonna really change where Dapple's place is, but sure. Dualies. I did not expect a dually buff, I will be honest, but they got a better shot detection when you're not rolled. So your regular firing mode, you can hit players a little easier. So sure, you know what, sure. Go on dualies, take that buff, you know. It just makes the weapons feel better to play. I think that's fine. Cycle. Wider shots, reduced ink consumption by 14%. I feel like that's pretty impactful. That'll definitely help the uptime of the weapon a lot for this fighting focused weapon, you know? I think that's really good for it. I think this is one of the things that Cycle needs. So I'm happy with this. And then of course the big nerfs to Pen and Decav. Pen, slightly decreased width of paint, so less paint for Pen. Also less paint for Decav by 12%. I don't know why we're not given a number for Pen. Either that means, like, we don't know how impactful this is going to be. We don't know how much paint Pen is losing here. But we do know that Decav is losing, honestly, quite a bit. 12% is pretty big. And then also a 2-frame charge buff for Decav. Buff, that's a nerf, you idiot. Charge a nerf. Which, like, I think that's fair. Decav is extremely strong right now. So I think by making it harder to charge, that is like the weakness of Decav, is that it has a long charge time. So by making that just a little bit longer, you are going to make Decav feel a lot worse to play. So I think that's okay right now. And also, of course, paint. It gets less bubble, oh no, you know. Also, it's worse at contesting zones, which is like, that's fine. That's not really what Decav was picked for, but that's fine, you know. I don't hate these changes. I think these nerfs are okay. Stamp changes. Let's talk about Ultra Stamp. The 60 hitbox is now just a bigger one-hit kill hitbox, and the old 30 is now a 60. So there is no 30 box anymore. There is no 30 box. It is either you hit a 60 partial or a giant one-hit kill. I think with this change, there is like basically no reason to use stamp rush mode. Cause like, what's the point? If you get basically a giant zook shot with a thrown stamp, why would you ever rush mode? You know, you just pop stamp, chuck it at a back line. They're probably gonna die. Your hitbox is fucking huge, you know. Like this is really big for stamp. I think this is the first time. Will stamp see use? Probably not. But like, we don't know how impactful this is gonna be. Stamp can feel a thrown stamp. I should specify here. Thrown stamp can feel really annoying to fight. Rush mode stamp is still just as shit as ever, but thrown stamp might be something to contend with. This might be a little bit scary to deal with. We'll have to find out. Splashdown paint increased by 11%. I don't understand this one. I think this is just going to make it more of a zone's cheesy weapon. Because, like, it's not what special. Zone's cheesy special. Well, because, like, why are we buffing the paint on Splashdown? Like, really, the only thing that's going to change from this is it's better at cheesing zones. Like, I really don't understand the motive behind this one. I don't get why we're doing it. Whatever, you know? Oh no, if only any Splashdown weapon was good. I mean, end parries and not aren't horrible, but I guess CX flow is also not. Okay, actually, hold on. Hold on a minute. Why are the Splashdown weapons not bad, you know? The special's not great. This one's fine. Whatever. And of course, the Zuka nerf. Now, instead of being guaranteed a 53 damage outside hit, there is a chance that it hits 35 on super outside, which would make it 3 hit instead of 2. And for Zook, I feel like that definitely does make Zook worse, obviously. Because now you don't have that guaranteed 2 outside, it's going to make it feel more like you actually have to aim your fucking shots better. So it is a good change, and that's coming from the Zuka player. It is a good change for Zook that makes it a more healthy weapon. You're going to die to it bullshit a lot less. So it is a good change. And they also shortened duration by half a second without any SPU. Like, yes, like you can't just like hold your last shot for a while and like threaten backline positionings for as long, but also like you weren't really doing that a lot with Zook anyways, because usually it's just better to, once you get that first shot off by surprise, you like spook that backline, you either get the 1 hit or the 2 hit, I guess, and then you would just waste whatever shots you have left, just like fire it into an area where people might be, just so you can get your main weapon back, because obviously you could fight better up close with your main than with a Zook, right? So like that's how you would want to usually play Zook, so I don't think that's going to affect that like at all, that much. And of course SPU, like you get more duration from SPU, so like fine, but you don't really run SPU on Zook anyways, because duration, oh boy, you know, it's not exactly what Zook wants. It's not what Zook is good at. That's not why you're picking a Zook weapon, you know. So I think these changes are fine for Zook, and the stamp changes, we'll have to find out if these are going to be bad or not, you know, because that might be a really big hitbox. We don't know. We don't know how big of a hitbox that is. Also, Splashdown, I don't like this. But enough about that. Points for special changes. Octobrush 190. Sure. I mean, Octobrush doesn't exactly paint the best. Let it get more zips. Sure, I don't hate this. End parries 190. End parries already got Splashdown pretty quickly, and now it gets Splashdown quicker, and Splashdown paints more. End parries could be a bit more of a zone's cheesy weapon, a zone's cheese pick, which like you hate to see it, but I guess you're not really picking end parries over V-dualies anyways, so give it something good, I guess. I don't know. Dowsers 190. These are the Ink Mine whale dowsers. so you get whale faster. I don't know who the fuck is picking whale mine over burst strikes, but sure, you get whale faster. No, I don't hate that. Cycle 190, that is the splashdown cycle. I would have been pissed if they reduced end parries points for special, but not cycles, but they did. So, fair enough, cycle gets splashdown more. I think it works a lot better for cycle, being that it is the weaker main weapon. So, and also it has mist, so sure, give cycle everything, dude. S-Blast 200. Now, S-Blast did not get Booyah in the first place, so I don't think this will hurt S-Blast too much. Like, come on. It's a slow blaster. It's not painting. Like, that's not what S-Blast does. So, oh no, it gets less Booyah. It's still getting 2 Booyahs per game, you know? Oh, sorry. Oh boy, no, it gets 2 Booyahs still. Oh, the horror. And then Pen 220. I'm surprised. I'm surprised they did Pen 220 because I thought they wouldn't. I thought they would not make Pen 220. And they did. So this plus the paint nerf means Pen could be getting coolers significantly slower. Does this mean we'll be seeing less Pen? Maybe. Maybe. Genuinely, because Pen you picked for the range with Pen. That's why you pick it over something like Edit. It's because it has that fighting capability. Now making it cycle coolers less means you might want to go for something that can cycle coolers a lot better for you, like Edit or like the newly buff Zap, which I don't fucking sure, yeah, buff Zap, whatever. So I think this is just making Edit and Zap more desirable cooler picks. Of course, the other cooler picks in the game are still not good, so you're still not going to be picking Dynamo, you're still not going to be picking H3, you're probably not going to be picking Try, because those just aren't great right now, you know? So will this push Pen out of the quote-unquote meta? I don't think so, but it will maybe make Edit a much better weapon. And like, Edit was already strong, you know? Edit was already extremely strong. And we're not touching Edit at all. And we're making its main competition worse. So, right, I forgot about this. In Bluefin Depot moved the lamp that was on the bridge in the center to the top of the elevator. I don't remember a lamp being on the bridge in the center, I'm going to be honest. So, I don't know if this changes much, but sure. And they also did tricolor changes. I don't know why they are changing tricolor stages. Maybe that means that they want to continue using these for Splatfest. I don't think they would rework a couple of these stages if they were just adding tricolor PBs. I don't think they would do that. I think they would just keep them a shitty stage. I think this means that they are preparing for more Splatfests, which means we're going to continue having Splatfests for a while, because they updated like quite a few. How many did they change? 1, 2, 3. That's 5. That's 5 stages. Considering that there's 1 or 2 tricolors a fest, that means that we're still probably gonna get a couple. Anyways, I think the most impactful of these are Bluefin Depot, because Bluefin was like the iconically horribly unbalanced tricolor stage, right? That was during Weekend Fest. That was Friday, Saturday, Sunday Fest, and attackers just had such a disadvantage. If you were on attack, you were probably gonna lose, right? That's just how it worked. So they did give attackers more paint, less paint to defenders, made it easier to get in for attackers, which, like, sure, you know. Will this help Bluefin overall? I don't know. Is it beyond saving? Maybe. We'll find out when we get to play it again. I don't know when, and we can't even like test these changes when the patch comes out. We'll just have to wait. I guess data miners, but besides them, if we want to, if like people who are not data miners want to play on the stage, we're just gonna have to wait until it's in a Splatfest, which might be annoying. Crableg nerf to attackers, sure. Mako buff to attackers. Hammerhead buff to attackers, sure. Like, Hammerhead wasn't great. Mako was fine. Crableg was fine. for Tricolor, so I mean, I don't hate these changes. Eel Tail, both a nerf to attackers and a buff to attackers. They use this terminology, shielding objects have been added. They use this terminology as well for Hammerhead. I don't know what this means. I guess they added fucking poles that help attackers, because that's, you know, that's what a shielding object is. We know these devs. Probably. I feel like these are fine changes that probably won't change too much, except for Bluefin. Maybe we'll have to see whenever there's a Splatfest that we can see it in. And they did give some explanations regarding pen and decav. We made it harder to paint from a distance to help shorter range weapons. Sure. That's, yeah. I don't hate that. I mean, these weapons did paint very well, so making them a little less is fine. Zook, like, I think that this explanation is perfect. They just said you can't, like, hold your last shot and threaten a space for a while, and also it is harder to, like, accidentally kill someone, which, like, yes, that is what Zook needed. And then Tricolor, sorry, I am a little bit allergy-y because now it's spring and now there's pollen, and it sucks. Tricolor made, yeah, that's fine, you know. And they did confirm another update. The next update will focus on changes to the balance of battles based on long-term analysis of battle data, which is exactly the same shit they said last time. I'm pretty sure I could just check that. Yes, it is. So we don't know how many months will be between patches, because we expected this patch to come out like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then it didn't with the new season, you know. And then it just didn't. So will there be another 3 or 4 months before the next patch? Will it be like 5 or 6? We don't know. We don't know when next patch will happen. And honestly, at this point, I think that's like the less thing to focus about, because like Switch 2 presentation in less than a month, I feel like that's more important. I feel like we're gonna care about that a little more at this time. But yeah, overall, not a horrible patch. Made Zuka worse, which is good for the game overall. Made pen cycle cooler less. We'll see what happens with that. And yeah, I don't hate any of these changes except for maybe splashdown paint buff. I don't know why I'm making its own cheese, but overall, good patch, Nintendo. Thank you, Nintendo.